Down to the sidelines we go with Pam Oliver.
Well, Kevin, you saw that awesome locker room video to start the game. Well, the Cowboys, that is their outlook coming into this. I talked to Jason Witten. He said, we got to play this game with a chip on our shoulder. Remember when people didn't think we were very good? The team wants to stay on the ascent coming into this game. And remember that the stakes are high because this is right before the playoffs. Back to you.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Well, it's been a rough season at quarterback for Washington. I mean, start off with a week 2 injury against Jacksonville, dislocated ankle, so Griffin in third goes out. Kirk Cousins comes in, plays well initially, then interceptions galore. He's benched. Colt McCoy beats the Cowboys. He plays well a little bit, and then he gets hurt. So here comes a 6-game losing streak. Finally, they get a win. They beat the Eagles and knocked them out of the playoffs last week, and a good game for Robert Griffin III.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Pizza Hut. We're taking pizza where it's never been before. By Ford. Beautiful things happen when you go further. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Well, Deshaun Jackson has now 8 catches of 50-plus yards this year, first in the league. But Trent Williams, you talked in the open, John, about every game means something. He played last week with his right arm basically hanging on the ground. He doesn't have to play today, and he just made that great block.
That's what this league's all about. You always have something to play for.
This year, and for Bryant, his 15th touchdown receiving. That leads the NFL. Big plays galore in this one. It's Dallas back in front. 15th touchdown of the year for Dez Bryant. Jason Garrett thrilled. Bryant has tied a franchise record, 15 with Terrell Owens from the 2007 season.
And you know what I hear, Kevin? I hear cash registers. Every time a man does something like that, he's getting a little more expensive.
Around their own 25-yard line. And so we've seen some fireworks early on, that's for sure. But right now it's Dallas in front by 3. That time. Here is the largest increase all time in run percentage from one year to the next. And what's interesting about this list, if you go and look, all of these other teams had a change in at least one area when you're talking coach, quarterback, or running back. So, for example, Pittsburgh near the top of that list, that was Ben Roethlisberger's rookie year. They ran the ball. They made it easier for him. The Cowboys have not. They've had the same personnel. They've just completely changed what they've done. And that's why they won the NFC East. 32-yard run. And congratulations to DeMarco Murray.
Unbelievable season. They've put the load on him. He's responded. Emmitt Smith, the NFL's all-time leading rusher, and he just broke that record. Hats off to DeMarco Murray, to his fullback Tyler Klutz, to this entire Cowboys offense.
Well, you can ring in the new year on Fox Sports 1. We bring you a marathon of Big East basketball featuring all 10 teams back-to-back, including a showdown between Butler and 7th-ranked Villanova. Our Big East New Year's Eve marathon begins 11:30 Eastern, goes all the way to midnight, only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. We've got ourselves a game break with Kurt Menefee.
All right, Houston's got to win for a chance to make the playoffs. Jacksonville thinking otherwise. This is Dwayne Brooks with a pick 6 off Case Keenum, and Jacksonville trying to win 2 straight to end the season. Lead at 10-7, an important game for the Texans. Kevin, John, Pam.
First, well, another great thing about this Dallas team, they're trying to go undefeated on the road. They're 7-0 this year. And you look at the history of this league, undefeated teams on the road. How about the Rams? They got to the Super Bowl. The Patriots, well, they got to the Super Bowl and lost to the Giants that year in 07. And teams that are that good on the road usually win a lot and get very far, as this graphic shows you right here. A couple of Super Bowl champs.
Kevin, you know what I like about what Tony Romo said about that? We said, what do you attribute that? And he said, look, when you're good, you're good. I'd love to try to come up with some explanation, but they have confidence, and Tony said it, that they can go up against anyone, anywhere, and beat them.
Murray still in the game, and this is interesting because I asked Jason Garrett yesterday, hey, what about Murray? After he gets the record, does he come out? And he said, it's going to be the same plan as last week. We're going to play our guys, and that's, at least for now, it's evidence of it.
Yeah, and please don't misunderstand what I'm saying about what I've seen from DeMarco Murray. He's got 8 rushes, 57 yards. He's still tremendous, but just early in the year, he ran through contact every time. Of late, you haven't seen it so much.
Tony Romo talking to Bill Callahan. DeMarco Murray has the record, and the Cowboys have the lead after 1 quarter from Maryland. The Cowboys have already won the division. They very unlikely to get a #1 seed or a first-round bye. Basically need the Lions and Packers to tie and a pig to fly over FedEx Field. But it can happen, John.
It ain't happening. The Super Bowl ring I wear on my right finger, it's yours next year if it happens. These ties in week 17, come on.
So you're telling me if there's a tie between the Lions and Packers, I get to wear that next year?
Yeah, I feel like I'm proposing to Linda all over, but, you know, it's just Jason Garrett, his motivation for playing, there's that ring. It's not about improving their seed because he knows how little those chances, how minuscule those chances are. It's about keeping your edge, and I couldn't agree more with him. I've been in both positions, and when you play, you stay sharper. I like what Jason Garrett's doing.
And they look extremely sharp today. To Beasley again for a first down, and Cole Beasley down to the 15. Well, should I note that I had our excellent stat man Jeff Nelson look it up, and it actually has happened 6 times where the season has we've had a tie in the last week of the season, and the Packers have been involved in 4 of them, John.
So you're saying you want my ring?
You're telling me there's a chance. That's what I'm telling you. But the bottom line is, I know what you're saying. We were talking earlier, and you said, hey, even just for the week of practice, right? Yeah. So the Cowboys are sharp, and they look razor sharp right now. 1st and 10.
Today's game is sponsored by Pizza Hut. We're taking pizza where it's never been before. By Pepsi. Pepsi Hyper, the official sponsor of the Pepsi Super Bowl 49 halftime show. And by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL.
This Cowboys offense looking crisp. 20 points, 20-7 lead. Now they're absolutely throttling this Washington defense. 269 yards. Washington looking for answers. All Dallas in the 2nd. Catch game break time. Let's check in with Joel Klatt.
All right, Kev, let's go out to Kansas City. San Diego, it's simple. Win, and they're the 6th seed in the AFC. They were down 10 early, but that's a quick touchdown from Brandon Oliver from 1 yard out. It's 10-7. Kevin and John.
You can follow your favorite team. Just go to iTunes.com/NFL. Stars of the Cowboys today against yesteryear. The triplets back then, Irvin and Aikman and Emmett, and maybe the new big 3 now with Dez Bryant and Tony Romo and DeMarco Murray. Up the superlatives now. What the triplets had was Super Bowls.
I tell you, I'm a believer. I really am. I think they've been magnificent at each of those positions. It really presents a pick your poison situation when you got Murray running at you and Dez Bryant outside.
Harris will let this one bounce out of the back end of the end zone. And so 1:20 to go in the half. 27-10. And you look at some of these superlatives here. I mean, Murray's going to be your rushing leader. He's the single season record holder now. Dez Bryant, 16 touchdown catches. That's a new Cowboys single season record. And Romo, this picked up some steam this week about he being in the MVP conversation. And he's really adding to the case today.
He's making it tough. Aaron Rodgers better perform today because I think Aaron Rodgers is the favorite. But when you're 13-16 with 2 more touchdowns, 0 interceptions today, Romo's been phenomenal this year. Kevin, you talk this Pro Bowl offensive line. Watch Frederick, the 2nd-year center. Martin, the combo. The huge alley for DeMarco Murray. Zach Martin pulling. What an athlete he is. And then the left tackle. You better have a good left tackle if you want to throw it in this league. And Tyron Smith, he's a wall on that left side for Tony Romo. This offensive line is tremendous. By far and away, to me, the best offensive line in football.
They've earned it 3 Pro Bowl nods. Well, I just told you what happened, but it's better to hear it from the horse's mouth. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee. What's coming up?
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, the final spot in the AFC will be determined today. The Chargers win over Kansas City, they're in. If they lose, then Baltimore is in with a win. If they lose, well, then it's Houston and it's Kansas City and a whole lot to talk about, all on the Visa Halftime.
So it seemed after the Chargers came back and beat the 49ers, they're in good position, right? And the Chiefs without Alex Smith. Well, look at this. 16-7 behind Chase Daniel today. And Baltimore, you'd think a lot because the Browns have a third-string quarterback starting today. So guess what? If the Chiefs win and the Ravens lose, then Kansas City sneaks into the playoffs.
Unbelievable. Let me tell you something. It's not done, though, with Phillip Rivers. We saw that comeback at San Francisco. Tougher, though, when you got Justin Houston and Tamba Hali breathing down your neck.
Have you heard about the new show Empire? Well, guess what? It's coming in January, starring Terrence Howard as hip-hop mogul Taraji P. Henson as his just-out-of-prison ex-wife. If you love high drama and amazing music, this is the show for you. Empire premieres Wednesday, January 7th on Fox. Can you believe it's week 17 already? I mean, here we go, figuring all these playoff implications, and the playoffs are going next week.
Best time of the year right here. You just had Christmas. You got teams vying for playoff spots. And here we go, playoff football on the way.
And that, you would think Washington would call a timeout here, or at least get the punt with it being fourth down, time ticking away.
That's right in Romo's breadbasket. Then Parnell kicks it. This is an old football follies play. But Romo secures the ball, and there's Keenan Robinson to bring him down.
Surprised Washington didn't take a timeout, but the half ends with the Cowboys up 27-10. Good half for Dallas. Halftime show, a lot to do with Send It to LA with Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
Welcome to the Visa Halftime Report. Visa Checkout, the easier way to pay online.
Welcome to the Visa Halftime. Kurt Menefee, along with Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. Time to roll for the Week 17 highlights with playoff implications all along.
All right, J.J. Watt coming into this football game with 17.5 sacks, getting fired up before the game. Remind me so much of Jimmy right when he gets his nachos. There he goes, third down for the Jaguars. J.J. Watt sacks Blake Bortles. Watt's second sack on the day, going up to 19.5 sacks for him. Houston up by 7 over Jaguars until Case Keenum hit by Gratz, who returns it 55 yards for the Jaguars. 10-7 Jacksonville on top. And then, of course, Arian Foster had to leave this football game with a hamstring injury. Third and goal. It's Alfred Blue off left tackle. Houston 14, Jacksonville 10. Chargers.
25, 2 touchdowns to Marco Murray. We talked about the record. More importantly to me, he's running with authority, and Des Bryant, so explosive. You're seeing why this Dallas Cowboys team is a team to be reckoned with in these playoffs.
Meanwhile, short kick is going to be taken by the up man there for Washington. And now the question for Jason Garrett and company is, they're going to play anybody anymore, starters anymore. I mean, they've played them the entire first half. They played great. And the big three have been all contributing in a big way. A couple touchdowns for Bryant, one for Murray. Romo staying red hot now in this month of December.
One thing I found humorous, Kevin, we were talking to Jason about it in our production meeting. He said, John, it's not like we got 46 new guys. I mean, you're only given 46 that are active. So everyone's got to play. Most of the starters are still in there, and we'll see how long it goes.
Robert Griffin III. And had the ball for all that long in the first half. And we'll get on the sidelines, say hello to Pam Oliver.
Hey there, Kevin. I walked off with Jason Garrett, and we had a kind of comical conversation. And I said, well, who's going to play in the second half? He says, we'll play. I'm like, well, who specifically is going to play? He said, I really just don't know, but it was going to be a staff decision. Talking to Jay Gruden, he was hopping mad. He says, we need some defense. But I asked him what this second half is really about. He says it's the future. We want to know who the future Redskins will be. I want to know who loves this game. Back to you.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. By Burger King. Mix and match 2 large premium sandwiches for just $5 only at Burger King. And by ExxonMobil.
Cool shot, our nation's capital. But it's raining today as Joe Gibbs is here today with Daniel Snyder, the Washington owner, on your right. Tony Romo has made his case to push for the MVP. Why? With a December that has been unbelievable. Look how his Decembers have been. He's gotten ridiculed for some failures in that month after historically being great in November. This December has been out of control. Look at that rating.
So much of life, so much of this league is how you finish. You can't finish any better. His first half was an example of it, and that's why these Cowboys, I'm telling you, are a team to be reckoned with. With Tony Romo playing like this, the offensive line, DeMarco Murray running, they are tough to beat.
And Murray's.
Today's game is sponsored by American Sniper from Warner Brothers Pictures, now playing in select theaters everywhere January 16th.
Back here in Landover, Maryland. It's been all Cowboys for the most part today, trying to finish up on the road undefeated. It's so nice to have you in here. And first of all, you're watching this team. We've been talking all broadcast about similarities. Do you see any with your Super Bowl winning teams to this team, this Cowboy team right now?
Well, without question, offensively, they've got the offensive line. They're able to run the football. People always talked about Troy Aikman, why he didn't have big numbers. Well, he didn't have big numbers because we didn't need to throw the football. We set it up with the run, and that way Troy could pick and choose as far as where he was going to throw the football, and we were able to put points. Now, where there is a difference, we won back-to-back Super Bowls with the #1 defense in the league.
All right, Coach, you know, you just talked about Troy, and I'm watching Tony Romo, and I'm seeing a guy play the best I think I've ever seen him play.
Yeah.
You feel the same way, and if so, why?
Well, John, I think the running game is what is helping Tony Romo. Tony Romo had to carry this football team on his back for really the last 4 or 5 years. And, you know, if you're carrying a football team, you're throwing it as much as what he did, he was going to make some mistakes. Now, he can throw it when he wants to throw it because they've got the great running game.
Murray's going to be short, so it'll be a 4th and short here. I'm assuming that Jason Garrett will go it. Hey, Jimmy, how about the coaching spot here? You know, Jason Garrett said he was going to play his guys, and so far it's worked. Are you getting to the point now where you're like, okay, we're going to take these guys out of here? What's your take there?
Well, first of all, let me say Jason Garrett has done a fabulous job this year. Done a great job. I think being the overseer of watching all 3 phases has made him a better coach and really could be a candidate for Coach of the Year. But as far as playing these players, yeah, I would have played them early in the ball game and probably pulled them out. You know, they've got momentum going into the playoffs. They've made their point. They're going to win this game. Now protect your players.
Jimmy Johnson joining us from the studio. We'll see you post-game. Thanks, Jimmy. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.
And the Kansas City Chiefs are leading the Chargers. All they need to do is win and get in. Daniel's having a decent game so far. And how about that? If the Chargers were to lose, then it's in the Ravens' driver's seat, and they're losing to the Browns with a 3rd-string quarterback in there today. Connor Shaw starting at quarterback. And so now what happens if they both lose? Well, then it comes down to the Chiefs and the Texans. The Texans with the win, they can actually get in if that current situation holds. And they're beating the Jags 14-10. Right, checking in with Joel Klatt.
All right, Kevin, let's show you what happened in that Cleveland-Baltimore game. Terrence West in from 2 yards out. Connor Shaw playing great. Remember, Steve Spurrier, the old ball coach, said he was one of the best competitors at the quarterback position he ever had at South Carolina. He's got his team up 10-3. Kevin and John.
Yeah, and by the way, Josh Gordon was suspended for that game, so they're just going to put on the field and go ahead and beat Baltimore. That's just insane. So the Texans right now, as it stands, are sneaking in the playoffs. Obviously a long way to go.
All right, Kevin, crazy AFC. Here we go. Blake Bortles passes it to Cecil Shorts. He throws it then to Jordan Todman for 23-yard touchdown. That puts Jacksonville up 17-14. Along with Cleveland beating Baltimore, Kansas City with a win over San Diego. They're up 19-7, would go to the AFC playoffs. There'll be a quiz later. Kevin and John.
So the Chiefs needed 3 teams to lose, and obviously one of those was them beating San Diego, and it's all happening right now. Saturday, the UFC returns to Fox Sports 1 for UFC 182 prelims, featuring a lightweight bout between Danny Castillo and undefeated Paul Felder, plus other epic bouts. Coverage begins 7 p.m. Eastern. It's only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. That class, that's for sure, because you both belong in Canton. And when you talk about great coaches, Coach of the Year this year is just filled with all kinds of good candidates. You can make a case for each of those guys and maybe add another one in or 2 in there, like Mike McCarthy and company, Robert Griffin III. is going to have a completion and a first down. That's the tight end, Niles Paul. Who do you like in this class?
Well, first of all, Jimmy Johnson, he picked Bruce Arians, and he said he did more with less. I agree, but I think we live in a what have you done for me lately world, and that started to skid a little bit with all the quarterback problems. I think Jason Garrett has made a nice claim on this award with the way the decision to play his guys today, the way he's played Pete Carroll. It's a tough. There's no clear cut. I better come up with it because I have a vote, and I don't have the answer yet.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Taco Bell. The new way to Taco Bell is here, only in the app. By State Farm. Pump up your savings with a discount double check today. And by Lowe's. Lowe's, never stop improving.
Robert Griffin III is 1 for 8 with 2 interceptions in the red zone today. That time, John pointed out, great play by Scandrick to tip it up. Bruce Carter, his 2nd interception today. He's got 5 on the year. We've got a game break with Joel Klatt.
All right, Kevin, and I assure you, John Lynch, Case Keenum did not wait on that throw. He anticipated 21-17 Texans, Kansas City still up on San Diego. Cleveland still up on Baltimore. The Texans would go to the AFC playoffs. They're up 21-17, Kevin and John.
His day is done, but who knows? We'll see. 89 yards for him. How about that? A little congratulations to Bruce Carter. 2 interceptions. Week 17 continues later today on CBS, out on Fox, and then tonight was Sunday Night Football on NBC. It's a first down for Washington.
Today's game is sponsored by the new Samsung Galaxy Note 4. The next big thing is here.
This rivalry a long time. This is the 110th meeting between these two clubs ever since the Cowboys came into the league in 1960, and there have been some great games, a couple of playoff matchups where Washington has won both, and guess what? They're still feisty.
Some things never change, and I'm all right with that. You like guys sticking up for the team, but again, just got to be smart. Pierre Garçon says, Coach, I swear I didn't do anything. Eye in the sky doesn't lie, Pierre.
3. Let's check in with Pam.
Hey there, Kevin. You guys have talked a lot about, the starters coming in and staying out of the game or when they're coming out. I'll tell you what I'm seeing down here is a whole bunch of enthusiastic players. You don't see anybody dreading it or, interested in coming out. You're seeing a lot of players working together, the coaches involved, the players involved with each other, and these guys seem to be enjoying themselves. They're loving it. Meantime, just an injury update. Tyron Crawford, he fell on his knee, but they say he's fine. Back to you.
Yeah, that's excellent look. I mean, it gives you an idea. So it's not just Garrett's thought, it's the whole team buying in. You look at Cowboys, big 3 today. Romo looking back at the days of Aikman. Dez looking back at the days of Irvin. And then DeMarco Murray looking back at the days of Emmitt Smith. A lot of similarities there. Jimmy Johnson told us when he joined us earlier. These guys putting up Mondo production. Bryant now with the best touchdown season by a receiver for the Cowboys. Murray beating Emmitt Smith's old mark, and Romo making a case for an MVP. Murray 4 yards away from 100, trying to cut back his field, and he's taken down. Good tackle. The AFC wildcard changes by the minute. Another change. Let's go to Joel for the update.
All right, Kevin, here we go. Back to Baltimore. Joe Flacco heating up. This time he finds Aiken, 2-yard TD score. They're up by 10. Kansas City still up over San Diego. Means Baltimore will go to the AFC playoffs right now, at least. Kevin, John will keep you updated.
Yeah, Washington has the football down 30-17 with 3:25 to go. It's time today to honor this man, Bob Stenner. 50 years producing football. And of course, you may not know it, but he was the man behind the great Summerall and Madden combo. Had the mustache then, doesn't anymore. He will not be in the television truck anymore. He has trained so many greats that are doing it today, and he'll keep doing it. He's going to stay on at Fox for a long, long time. And we want to say thank you to Bob. 50 years producing, John, and being the best at what he does. And he won't be in the TV trucks anymore, but he'll be with us, and he's just amazing at what he does. So thank you, Bob.
But there's been a lot of issues to deal with. And in my mind, you got to stick with them. You got to let this ride out. And Robert Griffin, he's making it tough because we've seen the good today.
Yeah.
But we've seen the bad that gives you pause to wonder, is he the guy moving forward? And part of the issue, they gave so much up. I mean,
yeah.
A lot of people didn't like it when Jeff Fisher sent everybody that they drafted as a result of that trade out. A lot of good players in that list.
Yeah, there is. You know, when they played the Rams, that he kind of sent all the captains, the players that were in the RG3 trade, the players that they ended up drafting with the picks. And that's the thing. They invested a lot in him, and they've got to make a decision whether to bring him back, because Jay Gruden's coming back. He's got a 5-year contract. He's not going anywhere. And, you know, I think the tough thing, and Gruden admitted this to us, is you really have a year with no progress because of the dislocated ankle that cost him to miss so much time. And then when he came back, there was some struggle. You have a year where you didn't make any evaluation.
Jerry Jones, because Jason Garrett's coaching his tail off. Des Bryant's playing his tail off. You look at this draft choices, these draft selections, Jerry Jones has done a tremendous job.
Here's the thing. We're talking impact players, right? Just look at the sheer numbers of who the Cowboys have drafted that are stars right now for them. That is the difference. Morning. It's all Cowboys here today. Jason Garrett loving it. They're staying hot going into the playoffs. Flat out dominating December for Dallas. I mean, not only wins, but blowout wins, and the offense nearly 40 points a game. First time ever that the Cowboys have had 37 or more points in 4 straight games. Ever.
It's supposed to be a W.
No, it will be.
That illustrated doesn't work.
Or
maybe my handwriting doesn't work.
In a matter of a moment, it will be. And they're going into the playoffs on about as hot as a mode as you can possibly be. And the big 3 today, all big games.
Telling you, you know, we asked Jay Gruden what he thought about this team, talking about Dallas's prospects. He said, oh, they've got everything it takes to do a lot of damage, and went on to mention they've already gone up to Seattle, so that confidence moving on. They've beat some of the best teams in this league. Jason Garrett has done a fantastic job, and he's got a big smile on his face, as he should.
Well, John, we told you about the teams joining us today. The Ravens today won. The Chiefs beat the Chargers, so the Ravens are in the playoffs. They're going to get that spot in the AFC. Wild early games going on. And for more, let's have a game break with Joe Clapp.
All right, Kev, we've got a huge one coming up this afternoon. Green Bay hosting Detroit as Aaron Rodgers tries to lock up the NFC North. A first-round bye also on the line for Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. It's America's Game of the Week. It's next, and it's on Fox. Kevin and John?
I'm flipping the script on you as we close here today. Tony Romo, you think MVP? Aaron Rodgers, MVP.
Boy,
someone else.
That's really tough. How about this? Let's see how Aaron Rodgers plays against the Chiefs. We'll make that call. But Romo is right there in the decision. DeMarco Murray going to be the rushing champion. And that'll do it here from Landover, Maryland. The Cowboys finished the year undefeated on the road. They win the NFC East, and they are red, sizzling hot going into the playoffs with the destruction of their rivals here today. That'll do it here from Landover. It's the Cowboys winning it big 44-17. Right to the studio we go.